In today's video, I will be showing you how to make this super moist and very tasty peanut butter cake. If this is something you're hearing for your first time, please indicate in the comment section. But for now, let's jump right in and work on this cake together. Welcome back. So in my standalone mixer, I just attached my paddle attachment, and here I am adding 1.5 cups of brown sugar, a half cup of vegetable oil, and 3/4 cups of butter. So one side is half and the other side is half of the half, so that makes 3/4. That is what I'll be using to make this cake. Just continue to watch as I do this. Once I had poured in my butter, everything was in. I attached my paddle attachment again, and I did mix this for about 5 minutes on medium speed. As I was mixing, I stopped to scrape the sides. After stopping to scrape the sides, it was time for me to work on the dry ingredients. Just continue to watch as I am doing this. Here I have 3.5 cups of flour, half cup of cornstarch, 4 teaspoon baking powder, and 1 teaspoon baking soda. Because the butter I'm using was salted butter, I don't need salt. So that is all my dry ingredients. I did sieve everything together, and using a whisk, I did mix to make sure everything gets incorporated. Once I was done with the dry ingredients, I set that aside and I continued working on my wet ingredients, making sure that I stopped to scrape the sides to make sure everything gets incorporated. Here, I added 1 cup of peanut butter itself. This is unsweetened peanut butter, and I just added that into the mixing bowl. I continue to mix, and I remember to stop to scrape the sides. That is how it looked like inside. Everything is coming out nice, and I'm loving it this far. If you're here for your first time, I am Patty G's Cakes and Treats, creating content on cakes, pastries, and everything in between. You're going to love it right here as I create content every week. So yeah, don't you love what you see? It's at this point in time, it smells so good. And yeah, I can't wait to have a taste of this as well. Again, I scrape my sides before I continued working on this cake. Here I will be adding 6 eggs, one at a time, while the mixing is still going on. So you want to do this because you want everything to get incorporated nicely, and you want to have a smooth, cloudy texture. To all my returning subscribers, I am so grateful, and please continue to share with all your loved ones. Let them know I create content every week. Just continue to watch as I do this. Again, I continue to mix, always remembering to stop to scrape the sides. Here I am adding 3 teaspoons vanilla extract, and then I will start mixing my dry ingredients, alternating with my buttermilk. So I first pour the dry ingredients, and now I'm pouring buttermilk, 2 cups of buttermilk in 3 intervals. Once I poured the buttermilk and the dry ingredients, I mix a little and I continue 3 times. Again, I'm only doing this to make sure everything gets incorporated. It's not set on stone. It's not a particular formula. I just want to make sure everything gets incorporated nicely. Just continue to watch. This was the last set of flour, and I poured the last set of buttermilk, and I mixed just for a little bit. And at some point I stopped because you don't want to overmix your batter. When you overmix your batter, it ends up sinking after being baked, and I don't want that. So here I stopped mixing with the mixer, and I continued the rest of the job using my spatula. Are you still watching? Please do let me know in the comment section if this is something you're going to be trying. My kids actually loved it. They are not fans of peanut butter, but they actually love this cake, and I loved it too. So once I was done using my spatula to mix and everything looked incorporated, I poured them in my baking tins. Here is an 8-inch tin, a loaf tin, and a 6-inch tin. At this point, I'd already set my oven to preheat at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I was ready to bake. Once everything was in the baking tin, I did tap to make sure I get off any air bubbles. And again, I learned this hack from Cooking with Cloudy, where you put butter on the tin to make sure to just have a crack effect. It comes out nice and beautiful. So at this point I was putting my cake in the oven, and after baking for like 45 minutes to 50 minutes, or until when the toothpick inserted came out dry, I knew it was ready. Don't you love that crack? So let's dive right in. I used my knife, I cleaned the sides, and I was ready to slice. This cake is so moist, guys. Look at that. And of course, to top this up, I had to apply some peanut butter spread on the cake, and oh, so yum. That is how it looked like. Don't you love it? If you missed watching last week's video where I showed you how to make these chocolate buns, please check the link above to watch. You're going to love it. It tasted so good. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget, life can get bitter. Eat cake to make it sweet. Until next week, bye.